They called her Rara, a 23-year-old girl from Majalengka. However, Rara has been working as an admin staff for 1.5 years at a factory in Subang Regency. He did not expect that, while working in Subang, he would experience horror stories in his life. Since his house was quite far away, he had to live in a mess prepared by the company. From the mess to the factory it's quite close, only takes about 5 minutes. According to Rara, almost 80% of the buildings where she works are old buildings. Precisely the Dutch colonial heritage building, including the employee dormitory that Rara lives in with several employees. It is certain that such an old building is very familiar with mysticism. In fact, almost every month there are employees who experience a trance. Local residents are also familiar with sightings after sightings around the factory and the mess. In that mess, Rara lived with 8 other employees. All the employees living in the mess are all women. In addition to the 8 employees, there was also a middle-aged man who served as a night watchman. They called him Mr. No-No. Since deciding to live in the mess, Rara has often heard horror stories that happened around the factory and the mess she lives in. But he tried not to respond. Understandably, he just wants to focus on work without messing around with mystical things. Until one day, the end of the month, to be precise, he and other employees were asked to work overtime. Meanwhile, normal working hours are only until 5 p.m. It was Saturday morning. The time showed 7:30 a.m. Rara and several other employees were about to leave for the factory. Right in front of the mess, Rara was stopped by Mr. No-No. Rara, tonight I want permission to not watch the night, because there is a need, said Mr. No-No to Rara. Not thinking long, Rara also agreed with Mr. No-No. On that occasion, Mr. No-No had time to remind Rara and other employees to be careful at night. They were asked not to act strange or things that invite noise. If there are strange things, the employees are asked to ignore them and multiply the prayer readings. Hearing Mang No-No's words, Rara got a little goosebumps. But he tried to get rid of that thought and returned to focus on work. Long story short, Rara and her friends went to the factory. They work as usual. In the evening, Rara, who should have gone home, had to work overtime this time. Until finally the time showed 21:00 at night. Rara and the other employees got ready to rush home. But Rara, because there is still work to tidy up, she has to go home a bit late. So he had to go home alone. Rara's feet stepped. He slowly returned to the mess. At that time, the factory was quiet. There were only 2 security guards on duty. Passing the main gate of the factory, the atmosphere is getting quieter. Only lit by street lamps, Rara tried to keep going. Suddenly he felt a black shadow figure following him. But when he looked back, the figure was not there. Rara thought it was just her mind that was starting to feel scared. Not long after, Rara arrived at the mess. He then rushed to clean himself and change clothes. Then he had dinner, while watching TV in the living room. The atmosphere of the mess that night was really quiet. Rara just remembered that night Mangnono did not watch the night. While some employees go home, because the next day coincides with a Sunday, they are off work. Only 3 more employees decided to sleep in the mess. Night's getting late. I didn't realize it was 22:30 p.m. Other employees were seen sleeping in their respective rooms. While Rara looked still cool to watch TV. While watching TV, Rara was suddenly surprised by the door to the guest room which opened by itself. Rara thought it was because the wind was blowing that night, which was a bit strong. He tried to close it again, then locked it, so it wouldn't open again. Rara began to feel sleepy. He then turned off the TV and rushed to his room to rest. Not long after, Rara fell asleep. Then when the time showed 1 a.m., Rara was surprised by the sound of chicks. The sound of the chicks seemed to come from behind the bedroom window. Rara thinks it's a chick whose voice is at night. There was nothing Rara could do to stop the chick's voice. His sleepiness was disturbed by the noise of the chicks. At that time Rara could only look at the window. That's when Rara was surprised by a black shadow that flashed through the cracks of the window. He thought someone outside the mess was peeking. Rara also dared to ask, "Hey, who's that outside?" said Rara. But there was no answer from outside the mess. Not to mention the fear is gone. Suddenly, the curtains on Rara's bedroom window twitched, as if something was tugging at it. Sure enough, when the curtains were lifted up, Rara could clearly see the figure of a tall woman wearing all white clothes, with long, flowing hair. Full of fear, Rara tried to calm herself. Then he looked at the woman. How surprised, when Rara looked at her face, it turned out to be an old grandmother. His eyes bulged like he was angry. As far as Rara knows, there are no old women with the posture she sees in the neighborhood. Rara tried to calm herself again. This time he tried to read our holy verses of the Quran as best he could. Then slowly the old grandmother's figure disappeared from Rara's sight. Only a moment, Rara was startled again by the sound of a chick. Rara tried to focus her hearing. Apparently the sound of the chicks came from the living room. Then the sound of the chick was accompanied by a knock on Rara's door. Rara thought it was her coworker who was in the next room. Then he tried to open it. When the door was opened, Raka was so shocked when he saw the figure behind the door. Apparently the figure standing in front of Rara is the figure of an old grandmother who previously appeared behind the window of Rara's room. Full of fear, then Rara closed the door and ran towards the bed. Then he covered himself with a blanket. Strange, the room lights suddenly turned off. Rara is getting scared. His hand tried to reach for the light switch in hopes that the light would come back on. Rara began to feel dizzy. But with all his might he reached for the light switch again. When the room lights came on, apparently the figure was already in Rara's room. Again his eyes glared at Rara. This time the figure laughed horribly. Rara then screamed as loud as she could. Suddenly, his vision darkened. Apparently Rara was unconscious. I do not know how long Rara was unconscious. When his eyes opened, he found his friends were watching him. Then Rara looked at the window. Apparently it was already rice. Not long after that, Mr. No-No came with drinking water and breakfast for Rara. After breakfast, Rara told her friends what had happened to her until she was unconscious.